level of tempo. And they seem frantic, but it's all controlled play.
Boise State's coming off a 6-0 run here in the second day, and they've got a lot of momentum, but Lone Star Quidditch Club just scored right off the bat, and they're setting the pace already.
Eric Andrus and David Nguyen joining me for this one. A spot in the Final Four on the line. The winner of this one will play the winner of QC Boston and Bowling Green, and right now we've got to talk a little bit more, I think, about Ball State's performance against Lost Boys to get to the Final Four.
Yeah, it was impressive. They were behind, I believe, 5-0 at the beginning of the game, clawed their way back into it, and then had a quick snitch catch or a relatively quick snitch catch.
And I want to note this right away. Looking across the scoreboard now, this is the first time the scoreboard is counting up today, not counting down from 14 minutes. So changing it up here in the Elite Eight.
I know, it's going to be a little harder for us to tell you how much is left because I used to be an English teacher, not a math teacher. But we're going to still see just how much gameplay can happen in under 17 minutes.
20-0 your score. Lone Star in control here early.
Boise State moving like a pack, slowly up to the line.
They are able to get into the Lone Star in backfield. Just a couple of missed shots so far, but we know they can penetrate their defense. Stu Driftlot, number 25, coming up on the left side with the quaffle, looking for passing options. Back to reset into the midfield. Missed bludger shot from Lone Star Quidditch Club, and they're looking for a reset on offense.
I think the referee felt like he was the target there.
Often we do. Often we do.
Approaching the 2-minute mark. Quaffle controlled by Lone Star. Opportunity here and unable to make this catch there.
Kedzie Teller, one of the lead chasers for Lone Star Quidditch Club, had a stellar career in Quidditch, starting off at Boston University, flying buck for them, then being one of the integral people starting QC Boston, who's had a meteoric rise. He's brought a lot to QC, Lone Star QC, even through injury and adversity, but he's still a leader on the pitch today.
Yellow card for the Lone Star chaser. He's been in the box for a minute. Let's see what Boise State can do with a man down, or with the advantage of having the other team at a man down.
1:56 on the clock right now.
1:56 elapsed now.
Quaffle controlled by Boise State. They're going to take their time working it up the pitch, trying to get numbers forward right now.
Number 8, Casey Thompson, coming up the left side for Boise State in the backfield.
The beaters charge.
Closing the gap, relay pass. Driftlot with the ball, driving through to the key.
Opportunity.
Taking the tackle over to Casey Thompson and beat before the shot.
What a great bludger play.
Really good defense overall. Missed opportunity. I think he was just high at the hoop.
Boise State may be running on pure adrenaline right now, but it is getting them through these first few minutes against Lone Star.
We will continue to try and give you updates between Bowling Green and QC Boston as this match continues on. Some Lone Star chants going on to the left of us here in the broadcast booth as we approach 3 minutes elapsed.
As a Northwest team, Boise State has really come out here to prove not only for their team, but for their entire region. The Northwest is a very young one that I am in right now. We're all very proud of where they've come so far. So no matter what happens, they've made a mark with the Northwest name.
I think at least you're going to get more bids in your region just because of how well they've done.
Absolutely, absolutely, and maybe less complaining about the bids that we do receive. There was some kerfuffles earlier on in the season when Boise State qualified for regionals. We had a certain amount of official teams in the Northwest, really discounting the entire region, but Boise State's standing up for us.
And Boise State, a team that qualified for nationals last year, but could not actually attend the event, so this has been a special run for them to be able to make it to this point.
Absolutely. The roster has not changed too much since the last year, so it makes you wonder what could have happened. But that's over, and we're in some excellent action now.
Lone Star on the attack again. Mid-range shot, no. Avoiding the tackle. The score out of snitch range is Boise State right now, and seeing some hands on some hips. A little frustration right now.
Absolutely. You're going to see a lot of different roles coming out of Stu Driftlot from Boise State. He's chasing right now. He may switch to beater, but he will eventually be their starting seeker. He's quite the spectacle to watch, whether he's laying out his entire body or just a sneaky snatch when you least expect it.
A little over 4 minutes gone by.
Driftlot with the ball left side, looking for a pick from a teammate. Got some bludger escort and running around the Lone Star defense. Back over to number 1 for Boise State, right at the mid-pitch, and number 21 with the bludger escort. Moving in slow, they're very deliberate, and they're starting to play their own base here.
And Brian Dixler out there setting some of the screens for Boise State. Approaching the 5-minute mark. Trying to create some room down the middle. We got one-on-one on the left side. And great job there to take away the angle. It's a turnover, and Lone Star does have numbers. Bludger blocked, and that score no good.
I believe we might have a stoppage soon.
A great throw back.
The ref on the far side of the field had his hand up, so we'll be talking for a little while, I imagine, seeing if the goal stands.
Head referee for this match, Erin Mallory, who happens to be just now announced, or just recently announced, head referee of the year. She's been a prolific referee in many different matches, many different regions, and she's definitely earned her way to be a top referee at this competition.
5:17 on the clock. Boise State still looking for answers at the offensive end. They'll have possession of the quaffle when we resume play.
I think it's really comes down to how you can be physical in this game. Obviously, it's a big part of your strategy, but Boise State is making some tackles or making some pushes that really aren't landing. You got to follow through, and you got to really concentrate on where you're going to end up with your body.
Yeah, you're seeing Lone Star QC look like a team that's been here before. They look all business right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, there was a bludger on the far side of the field, and I don't think any of the other beaters knew it was out there, but the Lone Star beater runs all the way down and gets bludger control for his team.
That's huge right now.
Absolutely.
50-point advantage.
You got to have your head on a swivel. Always know where those balls are.
Good beat.
Quaffle loose, bludger play there. Lone Star trying to pick it up. Boise State gets to it first. That was Haley Hudson who got down there for Boise State. Dog pile going on right now.
And the beaters will clean it up. And it's given back to the Lone Star keeper.
Quick ups for the pitch in Lone Star Quidditch Club. Looking for the passing option, and they are starting to form the triangle passing. Just cutting through the hoops, going through the defense like a sewing needle, but a defensive bludger takes him out, and it's back over.
6.5 gone by. Bludger control for Lone Star. Driftlot with it.
It's obvious that Boise understands that they need to start playing their pace and their game. Lone Star is often a team that really commands a pitch with how they want to play, and every team has to step in line. But Boise State's really trying to retain their own style.
And tripped up there, still able to get rid of the quaffle, knocked loose. A couple of players for Lone Star in front, a couple of tackling opportunities, no luck there.
And I think they're giving him the advantage.
And that one no good.
Looks like the second wrap-up from Boise State defense might have been a behind-the-back call. Obviously, the refs could not call and stop the play at that point because Lone Star still had the quaffle, and they did not want to take a disadvantage for getting fouled.
Yellow card.
7:19 gone by. $50-0 your score. An Elite 8 matchup. Lone Star QC taking on Boise State. Another chance to score, and that one off the side of the hoop and in.
I should hope after starting off with an advantageous spot to throw the quaffle, a miss to the left side, Lone Star picks it right back up and scores.
Boise State still looking to get on the board. Stu Driftlot going to see if he can change that. Bludger control still for Lone Star. Driftlock got rid of it, found a teammate, and that shot no good.
Refs really got to keep their eyes open there. We want to watch for player safety and neck contact. It is important that as soon as you, as a player, sees yourself engaging that you release it very quickly.
And that's good. Boise State trying to get back some help to prevent that goal. Not fast enough.
I think as soon as Lone Star noticed that they had no beats, they just smelled blood and charged quickly to the end of the field. And just a second too late on the beat, number 21.
Absolutely. Now, Boise State does have bludger control. Marching off the pitch, it's going to be very important in the contest to have both bludgers on your side and in your control. And when Lone Star has one down, they're going to have a very tenacious defensive beater coming up and trying to take one back.
And another opportunity here. Once again denied. Play made right at the hoop, no score. Wow. That's finishing the play.
Absolutely. And you can't be disappointed in getting some shots off at those hoops. It may not have gone in, but you're making the shots, you're making the plays, and it tells you that you can get through the defense.
Lone Star chance coming up again.
Oh, good strip.
If you're a team like, I'll ask you this, big tackle there. If you're a team like Texas, you know, not gonna have a chance to four-peat now. You're very familiar with Lone Star QC. Who are you rooting for now to take this title? Not an easy question.
I think it's very cut and dry. A lot of the Texas teams and the leagues in Texas are very close. A lot of animosity, a lot of good competition in there. But they're not going to defect to root for a Northwest unknown team. We have a lot of A&M and Texas State players here, and they're cheering on Lone Star because they still want to see a Texas team take it.
David, you feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's like, at least if it comes back to the state, you can still talk about Texas State Quidditch, you know, as a whole.
Boise on the board with a shot from Casey Thompson right in the left hoop.
It took about 10 minutes, and Lone Star, wow.
They reply immediately.
I'd say a 10-second response. Player down for Boise State. We have a stoppage in play.
Head coach Kim Couch coming to check on Stu Driftlock, player down. Looks like we just need a little overextension and a sub out, getting some fresh legs.
Seems like he's been like the life of the team throughout this, at least the games I've seen here. Hopefully he's all right.
Absolutely. Driftlot is the face of the team. A lot of the people who know Boise State know Stu Driftlot. Arguably one of the top 10 players in the country at this point right now. But what backs him up and what has brought Boise State this far is the rest of the team. Some unknown names, some unknown faces, but playing as a team with Stu at the head is a definite advantage.
Almost 11 minutes gone by, 80-10 your score in favor of Lone Star. And near turnover, Quaffle loose. 97 picks it up for Boise State.
Sneaking up the right side, 97 Boise State, cutting across the front of the pitch. Missed by the first bludger, hit by the second. Lone Star picks it up quick and is running towards the neutral zone.
We're going to slow it down a bit just to allow for some fresh legs to get in.
Fresh legs, and Kedzie Teller, number 10 for Lone Star QC, cutting around the back of the hoops. Foul on both sides, and it's a score.
I think if you would have asked if you thought a team was going to run away with it, I don't think this was the match of the two that are playing right now that you would have said yes, a definite yes. I think there's going to be a hard lady competition.
This is something that Brad and I have touched on throughout the day is when you're coming to a Quidditch competition, it's important to know that you need to have the experience and the stamina for one game. But Texas teams with the team density have had all-day tournaments throughout the season and are ready to understand how they can regulate their bodies and play the entire game. Boise State 6-0, but they're coming to the end of their legs. Can they keep it out for this last game and get that last break before heading into the Final Four?
Boise State gets another yellow card. I think that's 97 seconds, so that's a red card.
So Now Boise State wasn't in trouble already.
Is that the mandatory 2 minutes in the box for a red card?
Absolutely. When you have a red card in Quidditch, whether it's an immediate red card or a second yellow card, a substitute player must spend the entire 2 minutes in the box. It is unreleasable by goals and can only be released by the scorekeepers. Driftlott back in with his fresh legs, looking for some passing options, and really kind of getting that team together into the neutral zone. Leading up with a bludger charge, number 14, Ezra, for Boise State. A very, very formidable beater because he's got an excellent arm. Jesse Gibson steals a bludger from Lone Star, running it back towards Boise State's end.
Driftlott on the attack, and no score. 90-10, still your score. Boise State on the attack again. They'll go to Driftlott again. Can he put it home? No.
Second time, no dice. It's a hard pill to swallow, but sometimes you have to.
Here's a chance for Lone Star. Pass too low. Recovered though, and that one counts.
Possibly beat before. I think the head ref waved it off.
If Boise wants a chance in this game, they have to capitalize on their bludger control. They had both bludgers in possession on that score, and they can't be letting that happen if they want to continue.
Less than 5 minutes until the seeker floor. Lone Star QC. Boise State, the winner of this one, will play the winner of QC Boston and Bowling Green. Hoping to get a score update from that.
An update with the QC Boston Bowling Green. QC Boston up 40-20.
So Bowling Green still within snitch range right now.
Back at pitch one, Lone Star is in rare but true form, bringing in quick passing and great positioning as Kedzie Teller is a one-off right in front of the hoops. That's another, we should have 11 points on the board.
13:58 on the clock, stoppage time. And Boise State, I think, checking to see if it was not a goal. They're arguing this right now.
With 4 minutes left on the seeker floor and you're 9 points down, it's imperative to start with your pace. If they can answer with a goal right here, they may have a chance. But closing that gap now is going to be a lot easier than closing a gap when the stitch comes out.
I also think if they can get their hands back on bludger control in these next few minutes and keep it for the whole time, that'll help with defensive seeking and trying to edge your way back in.
Just over the 14-minute mark, still 100-10 in favor of Lone Star. A couple of missed bludgers and an advancing quaffle for Boise State into the neutral zone.
And Boise State on the attack, near tackle. And that one knocked away midair. Waffle loose.
And the beater's going to go and clean it up.
Boise State out of it there to be Lone Star Quaffle.
Can't deny the tenacity of Boise State. They're bringing a lot of heat to this Lone Star club. It's not easy for them to keep going.
100-10 your score. Almost a little over 3 minutes until seeker floor.
Two-time national champion number 3, a former keeper for UT, keeping for Lone Star here, is really starting to command the pitch with the likes of Kedzie Teller and others. Got bludger control, they have quaffle control. It's looking like it's their pace right now.
They're not even watching them.
And one more on the board. It is a 100-point lead here in the Elite Eight.
Honestly, it doesn't come down to talent. Both of these teams have a fair bit of talent and are very comparable. It comes down to stamina. Really coming off these very intense games to get to this point. They should be proud of where they are right now, but really, you have to have the experience, you have to have the know-how to get through an entire day or 2 days here at Nationals of Quidditch.
Yellow card for number 15 from Lone Star. Maybe this will get you back on track, but it's going to be a long climb back up.
Yeah, power play, person down is definitely an opportunity, but will they capitalize?
110 to 10 your score. Less than 2.5 until the Seeker floor, and a score there for Boise State, much needed.
Boise State can capitalize, but they have to keep up that tempo. They have to keep those plays going, or else this may be a very difficult climb.
Approaching 16 minutes gone by.
Seems like Lone Star is referring back to a, passing around until your beaters just tie up Boise State's beaters and then just easily run it in 1-2 or straight into the hoop.
Powerful strides from Cody Marshall of Lone Star Quidditch Club, a former UT player and national champion, really bringing more talent to this Lone Star club. That's why I think it would be very hard for Texas teams not to converge under this banner of the Lone Star.
Boise State slowing down a lot. You have to imagine that certain things are going through their head, but let's hope they haven't given up just yet.
We have a quick.
Just over a minute until the Seeker floor. A lot of the players heading over to watch QC Boston and Bowling Green.
All three bludgers on Boise State's side, but none in possession of Boise State, making it easy for Cody Marshall, bringing in the left hoop and another score. That's 120 to 20 in favor of Lone Star.
All Lone Star QC since the beginning of this one. Make that 130 to 20 on that.
Snitch has made his debut. One of the least animate that we've had, but hopefully he'll put out a good performance.
Sometimes you really do just want a straightforward snitch. Sometimes they have some antics and different plays they have, but this snitch is a strong snitch. It still makes for great watching. Boise State slowing it down, which is imperative against a fast leg team. Number 7 looking for the pass in the backfield to Casey Thompson again. No goal as the pass goes towards the hoop. Recovered by Lone Star, and they bring it up with bludger control, and the Snitch Seeker floor is over at the 18:05 mark.
And Driftfly looked like he was going after the Snitch as well there for a moment. See if we're going to end this one. Maybe, is there a little bit of help for Lone Star? Trying to end this one early?
This is what we're always talking about on Seeker beating. Both teams have to have an eye and a mind for putting their beaters onto the Snitch here.
And Driftfly's got some length on the Snitch as well. Nearly a Snitch grab.
As a coach or a team leader here, you're 130 to 20 in deep finals here in U.S. Quidditch Cup 9. What's going through your head when you're making the choice, say, go catch that Snitch too? We've had a great run. We want to make sure everybody gets home safe without any other injuries.
I think the only thing that you would have to think is just either an already big list of injuries or just, fatigue that is not going to carry you out until the later games.
One more score for Lone Star
All
QC.
the Snitches hurt.
Snitch is down. Looks to be just a little shaken up. Driftlot roughing him up a little bit.
Driftlot has no lack of talent or speed or strength when it comes to seeking, and Snitches are very aware of him when coming into the game. No animosity, it seems, after the high five, after that get up, but we are going to have a little bit more careful tenacity coming in towards the Snitch. 140 to 20, 19-14 on the game clock. Lone Star is still holding a commanding lead over a fighting Boise State.
Both Seekers after the snitch now. Driftlock near snitch grab. Snitch just trying to get out of trouble. Still looking for it. Seeker heading back. Both Seekers on attack now.
This is calling into question a lot of team priorities across the country right now. Watching in on the live stream, this is our highest level of competition. And would you have a concession snatch like that? Would you have your Seeker go for it, or do you give it your all? There's going to be a lot of discussion online and in the community about this activity.
The effort there from Driftlock, just couldn't hold on.
Head coach for Boise State, Kim Couch, making sure that this is a fair snitch grab. It's important that the snitch does not have any hanging loose clothing that might obstruct the snitch snatch.
Lone Star QC can taste the Final Four right now. Ball State already in the Final Four.
Oh, we're getting a sub?
Taking Stu Driftlock out, replacing with number 8, Casey Thompson. Casey, who is of similar stature and height as Driftlock, is going to have that lengthy reach coming around the side of the Seeker. Defensively, number 5 for Lone Star, very solid player that may be able to get around Thompson.
Both Seekers after the snitch right now. No grab there. This has been one of the more times that you've seen the snitch sprint today.
These are some quick Seekers and quick hands. It's a double punch right there. Quick overthrow from number 1 at Boise State, giving it a Lone Star ball in their zone.
Keep your eye on the snitch right now.
Almost to the 21-minute mark. It's 150-20 in the favor of Lone Star. And if you're just now tuning in, we make sure that we have 18 minutes of quaffle play before the Seekers or the snitch is let out.
Near snitch grab, bludger play there prevents Lone Star from ending this one for now.
Another 10-point score for Lone Star, bringing it to 160-20.
21 minutes gone by. Right now, the fans watching this one, it's just anticipation for the Final Four. Everybody trying to get their seat.
Looks like Driftlock had a little bit of a blood problem coming back into the game with something stuck up his nose. He's looking like he's ready to get there and retain some honor about catching that snitch in the World Cup game.
Back on the attack, Driftlock. Looking for an angle. Snitch down. Both Seekers on the attack again. Lone Star trying to get there first. Bludger in the area, no snitch grab there. Now the bludger play.
Driftlock biding his time, really thankful for his helpful beater play. Waiting for that, almost through the fingertip snitch catch. Driftlock on the ground, and so is the snitch.
Seems like Lone Star is perfectly fine with the Boise State beaters neglecting waffle play, and it seems like they just want to say, if you want to protect, if you want to try to end the game with you getting the snitch catch, we'll just run the score up on you.
A good signal from the goal referee there, hands up in the air but shaking their head. That means the goal went through, but they do not think it was a legal goal. Referees Erin Mallory conferring, making sure that the no-goal call was correct. Overruled, that puts another point on the board, making it 160-30 in favor of Lone Star. Boise State's got 3 on the board, and they're looking to add another 30 with the snitch catch.
Both Seekers on the attack right now. No bludger in the area right now. And do we have a snitch catch?
The snitch has been pulled. We have the referees conferring and some good hand signals. This could be the end.
Do we have another Final Four team? We do. Lone Star QC in dominant fashion has defeated Boise State. What a run it was for Boise State in this year's U.S. Quidditch Cup 9.
This is their first loss in these 2 days, and it's a good team to lose to. You learn a lot coming through in a national competition, especially after not being able to be here last year due to lack of funding. But Boise State's got to be really proud of what they've come for. Head coach Kim Couch is proud just to be here, and she's put a lot of work and effort into this team, and it's great to see what kind of product she's brought out of Boise State. As another Northwest coach, I'm really proud that the region has brought up one of these excellent teams that makes the rest of the country turn their heads a little bit and believe in us.
It'll be interesting to see how they do next year. I expect them to be back, and what other teams come with them with their extra bids that they just gained for their region.
All right, we are awaiting one more Final Four team. Will it be QC Boston or will it be Bowling Green? Right now, Lone Star QC, Ball State, as well as Rochester United already in the Final Four. We'll be back here on the U.S. Quidditch live stream.